I was driving through the salt flats at 3 a.m. when something impossible started running alongside my truck. It was tall, faceless, and it knew I was looking. I drive a truck for a living. Nothing fancy, no chrome stacks or catchy CB handle. Just me, a CDL, and a mountain of debt. I haul cheap furniture from one soulless warehouse to another, eating greasy diner food and drinking coffee that tastes like diesel fumes. My life is the hum of tires, the smell of exhaust, and miles of nothing. I've seen every corner of this country through a bug-smeared windshield. I thought I'd seen it all. I was wrong. Last night, I was crossing the salt flats. Empty land so flat it feels like you're driving across the moon. Just white silence stretching forever. It's 3 in the morning. My headlights carve a tunnel through the dark, my high beams catching the dust, the world outside black and endless. I've been driving 10 hours straight, my brain buzzing on caffeine and exhaustion, when I see movement on my right. Just a flicker. Something in the desert at the edge of the light. Probably a coyote, I tell myself. Maybe a deer. But then it moves again. Fast. Too fast. It's tall. Thin. Running. I'm doing 65 and it's keeping pace with me. A jolt of cold adrenaline shoots through me. I slow to 60. It slows. I speed up to 70. It matches me, smooth as glass, its limbs long and wrong, gliding just at the edge of my lights. Too tall to be human, too graceful to be real. 5 miles. That's how long it stayed beside me. Just running. Silent. I couldn't look straight at it. I could only see its outline, its shadow stretched and distorted by the headlights. But it felt aware. Like it knew I saw it. My hand was shaking when I reached for the CB. I hadn't used it in years, but the static felt better than silence. Breaker 19, I said, my voice trembling. Anyone got a copy eastbound on I-80? For a long minute, nothing. Then a crackle. A voice. Rough. Gotcha, driver. What's your 20? I think. I swallowed hard. I think something's running alongside my rig. Silence. Then the man's voice came back, tighter, serious now. You seeing a tall one? Long arms? Runs smooth? Yeah, I whispered. He sighed, slow and heavy. You got yourself a pacer. Hey, what? A pacer, he repeated. They show up out there sometimes. You listen to me and you listen good. There are rules and you don't break them. You understand? Okay, I said. Rule number 1, he said, his tone flat, practiced. You don't look right at it. Keep your eyes on the road. You see it out the corner of your eye? Fine. But don't give it your full attention. Got it? Rule number 2. Don't acknowledge it. No lights, no horn, no talking. Pretend it isn't there. You feed it attention, it feeds on you. I nodded even though he couldn't see me. Okay. And rule number 3. His voice dropped to a whisper. You do not stop that truck. Not for anything. Tire blows, engine smokes, you keep rolling until sunrise. You hear me? What is it? I asked. The CB crackled. It's an escort, he said finally. But you don't want to go where it's leading you. Just drive, son. Drive till dawn. Then he was gone. The static hissed and I was alone again, with it. I tried to focus on the road, white lines sliding beneath my wheels mile after mile. But the thing beside me never fell behind. Never got tired. Just ran, its limbs folding and unfolding like something that didn't obey human anatomy. Then my GPS beeped. I looked down and froze. The map wasn't right. My truck icon wasn't on I-80 anymore. It was on a narrow gray road cutting through a blank, unmarked void. A road that didn't exist. I looked up and there it was. Lights ahead. A town. Warm and yellow, glowing on the horizon where I knew there shouldn't be anything for 50 miles. And then, from the corner of my vision, the pacer lifted an arm and pointed, slowly, toward an off-ramp that was materializing out of the dark. Rule number 3. Don't stop. But he never said anything about turning. My hands trembled on the wheel. Every cell in my body wanted to take that ramp. The lights looked so safe, so human. But the old trucker's words echoed in my skull. You don't want to go where it's taking you. I kept straight. The air inside the cab changed instantly, cold, heavy. The pacer's movement shifted. No more smooth, gliding steps. Now it was jerky, frantic, angry. Then, flashing lights ahead. Relief surged through me. Car. Maybe a cop. I was saved. But as I got closer, I saw it was just a sedan on the shoulder, hazards blinking. The driver's door was wide open. And standing beside it, still as stone, was another pacer. Rule number 1. Don't look. Rule number 3. Don't stop. My heart hammered. I aimed for the narrow space between the car and the white line. My truck roared past, inches from the open door. I couldn't help it, I looked. It turned its head as I passed. No face. No eyes. No mouth. Just smooth, pale skin. And yet somehow I knew it was smiling. Now there were 2. For the next 3 hours I drove through hell. 2 shadows pacing me on either side, running endlessly through the desert night. The GPS spinning, the world bending around me like melted glass. I could hear something, a whisper just under the hum of the engine, like breathing through static. And then, finally, light. The first gold smear of dawn touched the salt flats and they were gone. No fading. No sound. Just gone. The GPS beeped, the road snapped back into reality, and the horizon looked normal again. I drove straight into Salt Lake, dropped my trailer and quit. Now I'm in a cheap motel 2 states away, trying to convince myself it was a dream. But I can't, because I broke the first rule. I looked. And last night, when I woke up to the sound of distant footsteps outside my window, I didn't have to look to know what was pacing out there in the dark. My dying mother warned me about something coming after her. 10 terrifying signs appeared in the weeks after she passed, and I can feel it watching me right now. My mom died 2 months ago. It wasn't sudden or dramatic. It was slow, quiet, cancer. We had years to prepare, but you're never really ready for it. The last week was in this small hospice room, beige walls, bleach smell, and that feeling like time had stopped. I sat by her bed, holding her hand, just watching her breathe. She was calm, peaceful. That was the weirdest part. While I was falling apart inside, she seemed almost relieved. On her last day, when her breathing turned shallow, she pulled me close. Her eyes, cloudy for days, suddenly went clear. "Don't be sad, my love," she whispered. "I'm not afraid. I've never been afraid. He's always been with me." "Who, Mom?" I asked. "My guardian," she said softly, her eyes drifting over my shoulder. "He was a gift from my mother when she died. He's kept me safe my whole life." I figured it was the morphine talking. Some comforting vision. But then she squeezed my hand and said, "When I go, he'll come to you. He needs someone to protect. You'll be safe now." I started crying. "Mom, please." She cut me off. "You won't believe me at first," she said. "But you'll know. There will be 10 marks. 10 signs after I'm gone. When you've seen the 10th, you'll see him." Then she whispered them, one by one, like she was reciting a prayer. A coin returned. A silent bell. A path cleared. A saved fall. A warning unheard. A fear answered. A scent of old earth. A touch of cold fur. A voice not your own. And finally, a gaze returned. A few hours later, she was gone. The funeral, the weeks after, it was all a blur. I'd completely forgotten her words. Until the first mark happened. I dropped a quarter in a grocery store parking lot, searched everywhere, couldn't find it. When I got home and emptied my pockets, there it was, sitting right on my dresser. The same quarter. A coin returned. I brushed it off. Grief makes you see patterns where there aren't any. A week later, I walked past an old church. The bell tower hadn't rung in decades. But as I passed, I heard it. A deep, perfect bong that echoed through the air. When I looked up, the bell didn't move. Nobody else seemed to hear it. A silent bell. A few days later, I was heading to the break room at work. A massive maintenance cart blocked the hallway, so I turned back to take another route. 30 seconds later, I came back. The hallway was clear. No cart. No noise. Nothing. A path cleared. I started to get nervous. Then came the fourth. I was walking down the stairs in my building and tripped. I should have hit the floor head first, but I didn't. Something stopped me midair. I felt a pressure on my chest, holding me up, then setting me down gently. No one was there. A saved fall. After that, I couldn't shake the feeling that someone, or something, was always with me, watching. The fifth mark came while I was about to step into an elevator. Suddenly, every instinct in me screamed, "Don't." I froze. The doors closed without me, and a second later, I heard metal grinding, alarms blaring. The elevator had malfunctioned. A warning unheard. That same night, I was walking home through the park when a huge dog came running at me, teeth bared. I froze. But before it could jump, it stopped dead, whimpered, and bolted away, like something behind me scared it worse than I ever could. A fear answered. 6 marks. Now I couldn't deny it. My mother's guardian was real. I started seeing shadows that didn't belong to anyone. In the dark reflection of my TV, I'd catch a shape behind me, tall, hunched, with long arms nearly touching the floor. Always gone when I turned. Then came the 7th. A smell started filling my apartment at night, a mix of damp earth, animal musk, and wet fur. A scent of the old earth. And one night, as I tried to sleep, something brushed against my hand. Coarse, bristly, like animal hair. I jumped up, heart pounding, but there was nothing there. A touch of cold fur. 9 marks. I was terrified. My sleep was gone. My nerves were shot. And then last night, I woke up to a whisper right in my ear, a deep, guttural sound I didn't understand, but I knew what it meant. One word, mine. A voice not your own. That was the 9th, which meant there was only one left. Tonight, I sat in my living room, every light on, waiting. The air felt heavy. The smell was strong. I knew he was here, somewhere in the shadows. And I'd had enough. "Okay," I said out loud. "I know you're here. Show yourself." The air shimmered. The shadows thickened. And then I saw it. It stepped out from the hallway. 7 feet tall, stooped like an old man, arms long enough to drag its fingers across the floor. Thick, matted fur. And when it lifted its head, it had the face of a goat. Long snout, curled horns, and eyes that were bright yellow, intelligent, and old. Ancient. And they looked straight into mine. A gaze returned. The 10th mark. We stood there staring at each other. And suddenly, I understood why my mother had looked so peaceful. It wasn't because she wasn't afraid. It was because she'd already accepted it. This thing wasn't just watching me. It was bound to me. Protecting me. Owning me. Now it never leaves. It's standing in the corner of my room as I write this. Still, silent, eyes glowing faintly in the dark. My mother said she was never afraid because he was always with her. I understand now. And I think soon, I won't be afraid either. I thought she was dead. But a box from my ex keeps apologizing for everything, even things that haven't happened yet. It's been 5 years. 5 years since I finally, painfully, and messily pulled myself out of that relationship. It wasn't one of those breakups that just ends. It left a crater. She was my first real love, and she was a master of quiet cruelty. A manipulator wrapped in charm. Every argument was my fault. Every insecurity I had, she turned into a weapon. By the end, I was hollow. A nervous wreck, barely recognizable as a person. It took years of therapy and slow, brutal self-rebuilding to feel normal again. I hadn't seen or spoken to her in half a decade. I thought I was free. Then last month, the box arrived. It was small, plain, sitting in my mailbox. No return address. Just my name, written in that familiar, sharp, elegant handwriting I recognized instantly. Her handwriting. My stomach sank. My hand shook. On a little cardboard tag tied to the box with a black ribbon were 7 words, "For all the things I should have said." My first instinct was to throw it away, to toss it in the dumpster and pretend it never existed. But I couldn't. Curiosity, or maybe old fear, got the better of me. I took it inside. The box was beautiful, dark carved wood, old and intricate, the surface etched with vines and curling leaves. It felt ancient. I sat at my kitchen table, heart pounding, and slowly lifted the lid. Inside it was empty. Just dark, velvet lining, soft and deep. No note, no object, nothing. I felt a flash of anger, that old, familiar anger. Of course. Even now, 5 years later, she was still playing her games. Sending me something cryptic, dramatic, and meaningless. It was so perfectly her. I put the box on my bookshelf, a grim little monument to the past, and tried to forget about it. The next morning, I was getting ready for work when something caught my eye. The box wasn't empty anymore. There was a small, folded piece of white paper sitting in the middle of that black velvet. My stomach turned to ice. I knew it had been empty. My door had been locked. My apartment was sealed. Still, I reached for it. On the paper, in that same sharp cursive, were the words, "I'm sorry for making you feel small at that dinner party with your friends." The dinner party. 7 years ago. She'd spent that whole night subtly cutting me down, making me the butt of every joke. I'd said those exact words to her later, "You made me feel small." I remember it perfectly. All day that note burned a hole in my mind. When I came home, I went straight to the box. Another note was there. "I'm sorry for reading your journal." My breath caught. She had always denied it. We'd fought about it for days and I could never prove it. But here it was, a confession. An hour later, another note appeared. "I'm sorry for lying about where I was that night." The box became my daily ritual. Every morning, every evening, another folded apology. "I'm sorry I told your mother you broke her vase." "I'm sorry I flirted with your best friend." "I'm sorry I made you quit painting." At first, it felt validating. Like I was finally being heard, vindicated after years of gaslighting and guilt. But then the notes changed. "I'm sorry for watching you while you slept." That one stopped me cold. I remembered waking up sometimes late at night, feeling eyes on me. She'd always be lying still, asleep. I told myself I imagined it. The next note came the next morning. "I'm sorry for putting that keylogger on your laptop." My hands started shaking. Then another, "I'm sorry I followed you to work the day you said you were sick." The box wasn't just confessing. It was revealing. Peeling back layers of things I never knew, things darker than I'd ever imagined. I snapped. I grabbed the box, marched it outside, and threw it in the dumpster behind my building. I watched it disappear under garbage bags. Relief, finally. The next morning it was back, sitting perfectly on my bookshelf. And inside, "I'm sorry you tried to throw me away." I felt pure animal panic. I took it outside again, this time with a hammer. I slammed the hammer down again and again, but the wood didn't even dent. The hammer's head bent, and the box looked untouched. It wouldn't let me go. The notes kept coming. But now they started predicting things. "I'm sorry for what the man on the bus is about to say to you." I thought it was nonsense. But an hour later, on my commute, a stranger spilled his coffee, glared at me and snapped, "Watch where you're going, idiot." I hadn't moved. After that, the box became something else entirely. "I'm sorry for the flat tire you're going to get today." "I'm sorry your boss will lose that file." "I'm sorry your friend will stop calling." It was apologizing for things before they happened. Small, cruel misfortunes stacking up day after day. I couldn't take it anymore. I tried calling her. Her number was disconnected. I tried her social media, gone. Deleted. Desperate, I called one of our old friends. "Hey," I said, "I need to get in touch with her. Please, it's important." There was silence. Then a soft, uneasy voice. You didn't hear?" My heart dropped. "She's dead," he said. "She died last year. Car accident. It was awful." "I thought you knew." I dropped the phone. My mind went blank. Dead. She'd been dead for a year. But the box had arrived a month ago. I ran to the bookshelf. The box was there, waiting. Inside, a new note. "I'm sorry I died." My vision swam. I couldn't breathe. It wasn't a prank. It wasn't some game. It was her. It was her. The notes didn't stop. They kept coming. But they were different now. Messages from somewhere else. "I'm sorry I was thinking of you when I died. I was holding this box. I'm sorry the sky is red here. I'm sorry the people here don't have hearts. They just have empty spaces." And then the last one. The one sitting on my desk right now. "I'm sorry. I have to go now." The one with the smiling face is coming for me again. I don't know what to do. I think I'm tethered to her somehow, that this box is her connection to me. Her only way to speak. The box is sitting on my bookshelf and I know with a certainty that makes my hands shake that there's another note inside it right now. But I can't look, because I'm terrified of what it's going to apologize for next.